So, the question is, what's going to be this Shavuot? What are we expected to experience? What is Shavuot really about? How it's going to change our life forever, right? The big thing is, okay, we do Jewish stuff. It's very nice, right? All the time, right? Shkoyach, Tiskule mitzvahs, did a mitzvah, very nice. And but did our life really change from it? And it's very challenging because, you know, I know a lot, too many, and I'm speaking about myself, right? Jews who do stuff, Jewish stuff, which is already a bonus because, you know, some people don't do anything. But we do it, but it doesn't really change us. Or we don't necessarily see ourselves change. So we do it and we feel good that we did it. Yeah, I did a mitzvah at one point in heaven, but am I really different? Did I really make a difference? Am I changed? Am I really the person I'm supposed to become? So it's a lot of introspection. It's a lot, and Shavuot in a way is an important time to ask those questions because it's almost back to square one. It all started on Shavuot. The only reason you're here today and you call yourself Jewish is because you converted at Mount Sinai for most people. Right? It's all most people convert. So if you claim to be so Jewish, you know, what happened really there? What did you see that really made you want to become Jewish, and what did you really take upon yourself? No. What do you think you convert? Right? Why are you being Jewish today?
Born Jewish.
Bang! America's Got Talent cross. Bang! No. Wrong answer.
God chose us, right? And then we accepted His gift. He offered us the Torah, right?
Yes, there was part of choosing, but if He chose us, what did He ask us? Why do you want the Torah? Like, it's a very arrogant a little bit to say, like, we're the chosen nation. Guys, I'm chosen. You know. So what? I mean, I know I'm a nice French, cute man, French man, very nice. Yeah, thank you. A nice accent, but I'm not sure God will, choose me for that. So why did He choose us? What does that mean? So, you know, if we go back to the beginning of the beginning where everything started, that's really where we have to always start. Gan Eden.
Yes.
Paradise. At the beginning, that's where it all started. So, what did God give the Torah there? Did God say, I'm looking for Jews. I want you to do, some Jewish stuff.
Hung up some flyers on the trees.
Yeah, exactly. Flyers and I want you to do. There's a religion I want you to follow. It's called Judaism. Did he say that? So what? This whole big deal that what he did 2,000 years later. If that was such a big important thing. Well, so Adam, do you want to convert? Do you want to be Jewish? You want to take the Torah? And so what happened there? What's the difference? What are we missing from the picture? What did God really want at the beginning? What did it look like when we're in Gan Eden?
Like a growth to get to lead up to because like the 40 days also represent like the embryo in the womb, like it's a process of creation. So
yes.
It was something that had to lead up to the actual, right? Like it's like the chuppah. So like We all have to
Absolutely.
like go through our different stages in life before you get to that point. So it's
So yeah. So this is a growth process to get there. So what you're saying that Gan Eden was like that growth process?
well something
Was-
something went wrong a little bit Gan Eden, right? So we kind of
Well, before we did
messed
anything
up,
wrong.
right? Then we had to kind of learn
Before
our
that.
lesson, right? Oh, even before you're saying.
Just when God put them
Right.
there, what was
If
the-
you put someone in a place, you're gonna tell him like, okay, what's that? You don't throw. Oh, I'm bringing a baby into the world. How's my baby? Okay, figure it out. Bye. See you in 100 years. Like,
Good luck.
which
The world
which
itself-
mom is gonna do
The
that?
world itself was like kind of like the embryo. That had to go through the. It's still to lead up to after Messias was right. To lead up to.
Yeah, but Gan Eden, why didn't everything happen in Gan Eden? Why did you have to go through all that before the sin? What did God really want? What did God say?
Torah is always the blueprint of the world, right?
Yeah.
Even from the before time of creation, we know it was
Right.
that was the whole plan.
That's true. Absolutely true.
Right?
So, what did God want? What did God say?
What did Hashem?
What?
Is the question what did Hashem want in Gan Eden, or what did Hashem want in Matan Torah?
Well, in Gan Eden, which should technically be, it's like, what's the difference between Gan Eden and Matan Torah, right? Like,
I think it's the same thing.
right, I believe so too. So what is it that he wanted in Gan Eden?
I still can't say what he wanted. I can just start to see the similarity in that the two mitzvahs that he gave them were to eat from all the other trees in the Gan and to not eat from Eitz Tov.
Okay,
At the same
good.
time, he gave them a command, and he said that why eating, it's a representation of knowledge. So he had to learn something. There's something he's supposed to learn.
Right.
And in not saying, going and eating from all the other things and being able to name the other animals, he would be doing something that then he would understand later, like,
Nishma, almost like Nase Nishma, you're
yeah,
saying.
that's what I think. And then,
That's nice.
like
Beautiful.
why couldn't he eat from the Eitz Das? Do this, and then wait, and then you'll
Then-
know.
and then you have
You'll
the das,
figure it
right,
out,
right,
like, it'll be there. And the problem was that he tried to get there too quick.
Right.
I still can't say why, what the real.
Okay,
I can
so
just see
no,
how it's
you say
like-
you basically
It's
say the
close.
answer.
It's very
We
close.
just have to go deeper into it,
It's a
right?
little close.
What God say one thing, ask one thing. He said, where is it? Go eat from all the trees of the garden. So imagine I meet one of you, and I bring you in my garden, right? Bring you in my garden, and I say, I want you to try my garden, to try all the things I've created, to experience it.
Such a Jewish mother thing.
Yeah,
Come
come
eat,
to my
have,
kitchen.
eat
right?
everything.
Literally, yeah, come to my kitchen.
Eat a
I
little
want
bit
to
of
try
this,
that,
this.
try this.
Yeah.
Why would be the purpose of that?
Because there's love that you want to give. If you have a kid, you want it to just be happy and experience, especially when you created something and you created it, to be able to give it happiness, pleasure. Like that's your essence as far as being a Jewish mom, let's say.
Right.
So in that regard, like Hashem created them and He created the Gan, and the whole purpose was to give them pleasure, to make them happy.
Good.
I still can't
So-
say why. And that's just
No. So you're in it. We have to look at it like that. Because we get lost very much into the religious thing and the halachos and the external Jewish rituals, which are all good, but those are the goof of the Torah. There's the goof of the Torah, the body of the Torah, and then there's the soul of the Torah. And very often we lose the soul, we lose the essence, and we get, I would say, bored, or we get comfortable with the physical Judaism, and we lose the passion or the
it gets
love.
stale.
It gets stale, right? So, Gan Eden, what's happening is that I make you taste something to it. I want to share something with you. I'm making you discover who I am, what I can do, and I want you to experience something from me, right? And really, what we're talking here, we're talking about a simple relationship, a simple love relationship. What does God want? God wanted to have a relationship with human beings, a relationship where He's gonna give, and we're gonna taste, we're gonna experience, we're gonna be grateful, we're gonna even maybe mix up, make some cocktails from the different fruits, right? And give back, maybe make a lechaim with God. We're talking really of a love relationship. All God wants, and the only religion that God had created, is a simple, loving relationship of taking and giving, right? And it sounds very simplistic, but all of Judaism, the whole Torah, all that comes from that. Yeah.
When Hillel said to the Ger, that's the Torah. The rest is commentary on how to do that.
Yes. Yes.
So it seemed that Gan Eden was the ultimate simplicity of that.
Yes.
Just love God like you love yourself.
Yes.
And then when we messed up,
and in many ways, we were almost not satisfied with that.
Right.
We want to do more, maybe.
we needed to learn all of the details and how to do it more, how to do it better, how to do the same thing but with kavanah.
Yes. Yes.
And the Torah is the details of God's love language.
Right.
Like, these are the things. It's like, okay, it's got like white chocolate or, dark chocolate. Okay, white chocolate, whatever. Like, but now I know what to get God,
Yes.
I'm about to go on a date on Shabbos. So, like, that's what I got to get God because that's what he likes.
Right.
Whatever.
That's good. That's good. So what we're saying is that if you are not using your Judaism in a way that it makes it become, or it brings you into a relationship with God, meaning you end up loving God more, okay, then we're not using it properly. Sometimes I feel like it sounds so simple, but really that's what we're missing. We're missing the simple stuff. I could bring you Gemara, or maybe I can't.
So hard.
but right. but you know what it says, and one of the reasons why we're missing the simple stuff is because we are only seeing the external, or learning the external aspect of the Torah. What was the Etz Chaim? What was the Etz Chaim? The Etz Chaim, it says in Bar Chaim Vital and in the Zohar, it says Etz Chaim was the soul of the Torah, which was the Kabbalah that we have, the secrets of the Torah. And we didn't eat from the Etz Chaim. Why didn't we eat from the Etz Chaim? We ate from all the trees. That's how you're allowed to eat. So why didn't we?
Before we were allowed to eat
Yeah,
from it?
absolutely.
And then it said, make sure before they go back and eat from that one too.
That's right.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's our path to go back. Our
It's like
path.
the Matrix, like the Matrix. So like
Yeah.
The red
It
pill
is.
and the
It
blue
is.
pill.
snake, remember, and the snake and ultimately the snake comes out of him, like the Agent Smith, he comes out
Comes
of
out of
him.
him?
From,
Yes,
from
yes,
here.
from here.
That's right. Isn't that
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's
That's
so
good. Very good. That's very good.
Good call.
That's so crazy.
So we understand that what we're missing is the depth of how my actions, my prayer, my mitzvah, my thing is making a relationship of love with God. How does that work? Right? And what do you think you have to get married with a human being? I mean, like, who cares? You have God. No, seriously. Do you understand that the reason why Adam got Eve is because he misunderstood, he was not able to date God.
Well, maybe that's
He
why
missed his shidduch.
God wants us to understand him better through the
Yeah, but
partner,
technically,
the
but originally,
soulmate. Created us.
yeah, because if you reach a level of Moshe Rabbeinu, you don't need a woman,
Right.
right?
He had to be
Yeah,
Koresh and Tzipporah.
absolutely.
Whoa.
So technically we shouldn't need a human being, but we're hard of. It's very hard to understand having a loving relationship with God without experiencing with a human being, and definitely impossible. And definitely impossible
Wow.
until we get there, right? So unless I practice. Okay, my wife cooks me some delicious food, some fortune cookies, and I have to go. I'm tasting the fruits that she makes, the garden that she has prepared for me, and I have to enjoy it. And not only have to enjoy it, I have to appreciate it, being grateful, help me connect to it. Say Birkat Hamazon to her, right? And everything that you're gonna do in this one, I mean, if you think about it, your whole day, 90% of the time, what do? You're busy with relationship with people. All our problems come from relationship with people, right? I mean, right? If we were all in love and everything and everything was perfect, then there'd be nothing to do. It'd be paradise. But all our problems, all our problem comes from relation with people. Why? Because absolutely every relationship that you experience is all here to train you how to relate to God, how to make that thing with God real. And that's why we make B'Tselem Elokim, the image of God. You're an image of God. You're an image of God. You're an image of God. Oh, so I'm conversing, I'm practicing with an image of God. If I slap, right, David, right? So how is gonna react? Well, it's gonna give me a good indication of how God will react if I do something that, upsets him. And if I say some words to my wife that are not nice and she starts crying, so I can imagine when I say something not nice to God about the world. Yes, absolutely.
Their own boatload of issues.
Yes.
So like, if I say something to her, she might react one way. If I say something to him, he'll react totally different.
Absolutely. Yes. So
yes.
I explained that because we're in a rehab. This world is a rehab to learn how to be ultra super sensitive to every human being, so that you can reach a level where you're not gonna hurt a fly with your words, where whatever interaction you're gonna have with anybody, no matter how they're gonna react, it's gonna be a good reaction, not a negative one. So we have to learn, we have to train ourselves to be beings that whatever we do, whatever interaction we have with people, whatever interaction we have with the world, is going to be an interaction that God will approve. And that's why it says that unless you approve down here, you're not approved up there.
Wow.
Right? If you think you're super tzaddik and you do all the things, but people hate you here, it won't work well up there. Don't fool yourself. Right? So we're in the training center, and what's happening is that this is what we're missing with the Etz HaChaim, the tree of life. We are missing the Kabbalah, the why. What we're speaking now is the why of things, the Kabbalah of things. The Kabbalah is all about midot, right? Why did we count 7 weeks before Shavuot? Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet. People count 49 days. They count days. They don't understand they have to count character traits. Or what if I bring some love in when I give a law? Chesed shebigvura. Or what if when I speak to someone, I try to have empathy, Tiferet. What's the proper way to have empathy? I have to bring some love. I have to be focused on the person. All the 7 weeks are 7 ways to work, to relate to people. 49 types of relationship, so that when I come to a person, it's almost like, imagine before I go to the interview, or before I meet my wife and I'm gonna say something, I have to think of 49 case scenario of what to say, what not to say, so that whatever I'm gonna say or do is gonna make her feel loved and happy. And that's what we do. We have worked 49 days and we come in front of God at the chuppah at Sinai, where we married. That's our anniversary. It's the anniversary of our marriage with God, where we have prepared ourselves in all different ways so that when we're going to do something in this world, it's not going to hurt God, so to speak. We're not going to hurt any human beings. We're not going to hurt any relationship, because at the end, that's what's missing in the world. And so what's the Torah all about? The giving of the Torah is a celebration of what's my responsibility as a human being. What's my responsibility as a human being is to make the world a better place. How do I make the world a better place? To become a being of love, just like God. And all what I do as a Jew, all the commandments, all the Torah, it's a letter that teach me. It's an instruction. What Torah means, instruction. Instruction to teach you how to love everyone, right? How to interact with anyone and bring shalom, to bring peace, to bring unity. And the reason there was no religion at the beginning, because there was no need for religion. It was supposed to be all relationship, all one big family. But what happened, because we hurt each other, because we went on a level where we didn't fit together, it was not one big family, then we started having different family names, different tribes. Right. We destroyed our own family, our own relationship. So now we went through kind of divorce between the people themselves, and now we have to get married again. That's why in Kabbalah it says the Jews are supposed to marry the other nations again, right? Because the Jews are supposed to inspire the world to be one team, one family, and to come close to God again, and to be married to God all together. So
a United Nations, but a real one.
Yes, a real United Nation, exactly.
Legit United Nation.
A united, loving nation,
There you go.
right? And they forgot the love in it.
I love it.
So it is so important, and that's really what we're celebrating on Shavuot. Shavuot is where we spend a few hours of the night learning, staying up. But really, we're staying up because we're so in love with God. We're so in love with the desire and the idea that I'm here to make peace with my family, to make peace with my friends. And this is the hardest. I mean, how many stories do we hear about a father didn't talk to his sons for 10 years because he said the wrong word, or
Jeans.
yeah, like a couple not talking each other because he puts the toothpaste this way and she doesn't like that toothpaste that way, right? Or
Literally a relationship ended between me and someone because we put the toilet paper roll on the roll.
Oh, exactly, right? Isn't it crazy?
That like
It broke every.
that was everything. That was everything.
Isn't that
How
crazy?
is that?
It's
Something
crazy.
That's small.
And that's why we have the Torah. That's the Torah to start working on what's really important, right? Bring some good music, stay with friends, speak about love, unity, and how to work on each other. We are now in a state where Judaism has become racist, anti-Jewish, anti-non-Jewish, right? How many people, right? And how many Jews say themselves, oh, if I was not born Jewish, I would prefer not to be Jewish. Like, how does that make sense, right?
Well,
It became right just
it became a religion.
it became a religion, and that's the problem. Instead of looking at our lives as a huge relationship, and Judaism and the instruction of the highest level of relationship, right? We made it into just laws to follow, and just a servant thing, right? And a slavery thing. It's crazy.
There's another thing that happened in the world that's almost exactly the same. So this is a generation that has dating coaches, relationship coaches, and the Citra Aqua version of that, pickup artist. All the tricks you need to learn for guys and for girls, how to basically pretend to be the ideal mate. Like I'm your zivug, and then as soon as I get what I want, oh, by the way, I'm not. Surprise. But that's the wrong.
That's the wrong approach,
the whole
right?
point is that what used to be a dynamic, like if I was infatuated with a girl, I would want to get her something so that she can feel something, to understand how much I feel about her. Like, let's say her favorite thing, flowers, right? Whatever, something simple. I know she likes a certain flower, it's her favorite thing. I get it for her. She's like, wow, that's amazing. Like, you make me feel what you feel like when you get this flower. And that's what I'm trying to express. It's communication. It's love. But now it's like, on the date, you wear a suit, you get flower. It's just things to do. It's just a list of like, you have to appear in a suit with flowers, hold it open. It's like, but am I doing it because I care about her and I should hold the door? Just, the rabbi said hold the door open, so
exactly.
I'm gonna do it. But then the girls listen, they're going like, this guy doesn't love me.
Right. There's no soul in it. It's just the body, right?
Yeah,
it's just practicing. Beautiful.
Emotions.
Excellent.
And it's happening in all relationships. Like this life coaching, relationship coaching matzav is that people just don't know how to experience it. So it's like, what are the rules?
That's excellent. No, that's beautiful, and really, that's what we have to experience. And I want to tell you something now amazing. One of the big problem, there's no word get in the Torah, right? There's no two letters in the Torah that has Gimel and Tes next to each other anywhere in the Torah. Doesn't exist. The whole Tanakh.
The first get was given to
the get was made later for extreme situation.
It didn't have a keturah.
No, but I heard that the first person that ever got a get, that he actually made a real divorce, was Abraham and.
But it doesn't say in the.
No, it doesn't say anything. I mean, it maybe in the.
Maybe in a
midrash.
It says that he's the first person that gave it.
Right.
It
never says the word get.
That's possible. But in the Torah itself, it doesn't speak. But that's
because she was never with anybody else.
But that's not in the Torah itself.
It's not actually in the Torah. Okay.
No, it's in the explanation. Doesn't mean it doesn't count, but it's not in Torah itself. In Torah itself, there's no place where it says Gimel and Tes. Why? Why is it so? Because
it's not about what you can get. Sorry.
No. Because once you marry God, you never divorce Him. There's no such thing as divorce technically. Divorce is supposed, yes, it's forever, right? For the better and the worse. Today, we are in a society where there are a lot of crazy people, so we need it sometimes, and becomes a mitzvah.
Golos is not really a separation of some sort?
No. I mean, it is a
separation,
temporary
but we're
separation.
not unmarried.
Like we are.
We didn't get divorced.
We don't have our house anymore.
We are by
so we got kicked out.
we are by
There
the
still is a house,
therapist.
and we're still married to our husband.
No, we are by the therapist and marriage coach to try to become better spouse to God.
We're in rehab.
Right?
We're talking
Basically,
to
we're in rehab.
therapists.
This is what this is Golos. It's rehab.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
God, but you understand, God kicked us out of the house because we were making a mess and we were letting our socks on the floor. And God said, no socks in my house.
Yeah.
And He didn't want anymore the cooking that we were doing. Right? It says in the prophets, I don't want you sacrifice.
It was called a burnt offering.
That's right.
You burnt my dinner. I don't want.
And He said, the smell of your things is disgusting. So your food, I don't want your food. You're trying to bribe me with your food. So what's happening is that we have to realize that the state of the world today is because we have not been able to be a good spouse to God, right? The main thing to fix today is our relationship, and especially our marriage is the hardest thing. That's a challenge of our generation. It started at Gan Eden, Adam and Eve. The reason she was alone, it was, that's what started all the problems. How come she's alone with a snake?
Yeah.
If I go to the jungle, I'm not gonna let my wife with a snake, whether it's a human being or a real snake.
Actually neglecting her, maybe.
Yeah, of course.
That's
was exactly what happened.
Don't-
You just created your wife, the most beautiful woman in the world with a huge soul, and you let her hang out alone like it was just an hour ago, right? It doesn't make sense. There was a lack of respect for the wife, a lack of understanding.
I never heard that.
Oh really?
Before.
Oh, I have a lot.
What is she doing alone? That's a great question.
Right?
Oh
What is
my
she doing alone?
gosh.
So, but understand why do we have all the religions and idolatry in the world? Christianity, Islam, even maybe Buddhism. I don't know. It's not really a religion, but Hinduism, even Greek mythology. All that. Well, where all this came from? What did happen? What were people trying to say? But let's try to find the answer straight from Christianity and Islam. This is the easiest. What Christianity? Why did they start? How did they start it? What was their claim?
that there was too many rules, but there wasn't enough love.
Okay, no, yes, but that's after.
Oh.
Because of what? Why?
Because
What are they trying to be?
Jewish.
Right.
They were trying to say we are the Jews.
Yes, they're trying to say God divorced you.
And he got mad
God
at us.
abandoned you. God gave up on you. We are the new one. We are the new wife.
Wow.
We are the new ones who deserve the relationship. And really, it's not true, because the whole thing of the Torah is forever. There's no get in our marriage with God. There's no divorce. And God is with us in exile. He's with us no matter the struggle. There's the Holocaust. Yes, it is terrible. And I don't know if I'll be still Jewish if I went through myself. But He still loves us. And it's surgery. Surgery doesn't mean He hates us. He's trying to save us. Right? So we have to reevaluate what's my relationship with God. Is it a relationship of master servant, father daughter, father son? That's fine, that's nice, but ultimately what we're trying to reach is a level of husband wife, like at Har Sinai. When we make the commitment, God gave us the 10 Commandments, He gave us the Ketubah, we had the Kiddushin, right? We even broke the glass. The breaking of the luchos is like the breaking of the glass.
Right,
Right? I just realized.
Yes.
The Lucas were the dowry.
We had the whole thing.
The,
What?
the gold coming out of Egypt was the engagement ring.
Right.
The Lucas were the
Really?
glass.
And that's,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
Har
God.
Sinai was the chuppah. He
Har
held
Sinai was
Har
the
above
chuppah.
us. And
Right.
then the ketubah was
The
writing on
right, the
commandments.
10 Commandments.
The declaration.
Declaration. That's the main thing read.
Wow.
So, my dear friends,
Woo.
it's all powerful, right? This is really our real work. Our real work is not to look at our Judaism and the learning of Torah as, okay, let me get some more knowledge. What's the good thing to do? How do I become a good Jew? That's for old-fashioned Judaism, maybe. it's
That's how you follow the procedure without
that.
the love.
Yes, you need
That's
it.
how you learn to do
You
it.
need to know, but you have to connect it with the soul. The soul is the Kabbalah. The soul is the why. The soul is the love behind it. Is what am I doing? How do I become a better person? How do I love another person more? How do I love God more? So I want to give you just an example that, like in prayer, right? Prayer in the morning. So what do? We come to shul, and we pray. And we're supposed to communicate with God, right? We're supposed to speak with God. So the Arizal says you cannot start davening until you accept upon yourself to love every Jew like yourself.
That's
Right? Harini mekaber alai mitzvahs aseh she'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Right? You cannot start because your prayer. Yeah, Chabad said in the beginning of Siddur. Sfardim, Chabad, Ashkenaz, I still have to get there.
Let's have to learn how to love each other. Oh, sorry.
So imagine, just I want you to imagine the difference if we pray like that. So come as a team, right? Go like that, say, okay guys, everybody, okay? So we're there as a team and we say, okay, you have to know, I love you the way you are. And not only that, I need you for my prayer to be accepted. You need me, I need you. You love me? Good, because I love you too. Okay, and together, only together, all of you, without you, we cannot pray. Our prayers don't work. So we're a team. We have to understand we are a team, and only together we're able to. That's what I mean. That's what the real
And it's this.
davening is supposed to be. Because you're gonna be praying Chazan. You're gonna represent me, and so I have to sit. And I see. I look one guy. He's the Hasidic guy. It's like, we need the Hasidic power in the world. And then another guy. He's a Sephardi. I need the Sephardi power in the world. He's going to bring some, dancing twist or singing twist. And then we need the Ashkenazi power, right? And the Yeki power, and the Satmar, and the Chabad, and the French, and right? And each one from different country and his own way to speak to God and his own uniqueness and his own talent. And I have to appreciate everybody because together we're gonna talk to God and we're gonna make a difference. So do you think how God is gonna look at that prayer when it's gonna go up? All those people so different and so united. That's a proof that you can love any human being, that you can love even Hashem.
It's our version of giving Gan Eden to Hashem. He's tasting of all of the fruit. We are all of the fruits of the Gan.
Oh, yes.
And we're giving all of those different flavors also. We're offering that up too.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Yes,
So the
very
same
nice.
way he gave us bitter, sour, sweet, that, and same thing as Ashkenaz is part of that. We're all different flavors.
Yes,
and
yes.
We're all
the
making this
fruits
one-
of his.
Right, we're
Make-
making
yes.
one flavor, which is the Etadad. And how do we get there? By having that,
Right.
to fix it.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Freaking out.
That's Torah. It has to freak you out.
I'm so excited.
So guys, what I advise you for Shavuot is to try to try to take the mitzvot you're doing already, right? And try to make it as personal as possible. Your relation with God, like we don't realize how real it is. When I speak to another human being, I'm speaking to God's presence in the world. Where is God, right? Chelek Elokai Mimal. God is present in each one of us. When I'm dealing with you, I'm dealing with some of God's presence in the world. I'm interacting with some of God's presence in the world. All the source of everything that we see, the mosquito, the spider, yeah, even the spider.
Even mosquitoes?
Yes, even the mosquito, the spider, the human being, the animal, the earth, the tree, all here is a spark of God's presence, right? How do you interact with that? Do you respect the table that was given to me for me to eat and enjoy this world? Do you respect the human being who is there to bring more beauty, its own way to look at the world? Do you respect the spider that is here to make a web to catch the insect so that you don't have insect in your home? Everything here is an expression of love to us. Are you going to use also yourself all those things to serve God and to show God love? The way you treat things around you, the physical and the human beings, right? All here to help us being able to create, to speak, so we have to make God real. God is not just in shul or just when you learn. Then when you go to shul, when you learn, you are actually, it says that in Kabbalah, that you're like face to face with God.
Wow.
Right?
That's awesome.
Right? It says when you make three, that's your private moment, unique. You're in the Yichud room with Hashem, so you make 3 steps and you're face to face with God. Or when you learn a sefer, he says that God opened the sefer with you. He's a chavrusa with you.
Yeah.
So this is what's happening, and you're learning. You say, God, how do I get closer to you? How does the world work? How is this mitzvah helping me love you more? And we have to ask the question. It's the why. Why do we answer every question by a question? Because we're Jewish. Why? Why? Because that's what enables us to understand God, to understand how to love Him more, how to change. And you have to make sure you ask how this mitzvah changed me. How is... I'm telling you now, and I'll conclude with that. Prayer and Torah are the 2 biggest mitzvot. Why? Because we just said it is the deepest interaction with God that we have, most direct, right? Like the Yichud room. So it's the most intimate level. I'm speaking to Him directly. I'm listening to Him. When we learn Torah, God speaks to you. You listen, right? He's speaking to me the words of the Torah. What do you want? How do you love me? What do you mean by that? I'm trying to understand my spouse. I try to understand my best friend, right? So that's listening, and praying is talking to God. Praying, I'm communicating with God. We have to become social a little bit with God, at least, right? which is good because even an introvert can be social with one person,
Amen.
right? So one of the biggest thing I would say is to practice meditation. Meditation is that intimate moment, and really learning Torah and praying is meditation. Meditation is the extreme focus of your senses, of your emotions, of your body and your soul towards one thing, which when you learn Torah and pray is God. But what I want to emphasize is that our prayers and our learning of Torah is actual meditation devices, tools. It's not, oh, I'm learning Torah, I'm getting more knowledge. Oh, I'm praying, I'm talking to God, I need this. Thank you for the shopping, money for shopping. So that's not what it is. You have to literally try to leave your body, so to speak, and enter into the dimension, into the reality that God is communicating with you, and really become one. It's today the world is changing, guys. We're in a new world. Even in the non-Jewish world, everybody's starting to meditate. It's going to become soon. The future is meditation. You're going to sit and you're going to, guys, give me 5 minutes. I need a meeting with God to find out what's the best way to act like that. You're going to sit. You're going to go out of your body. You're going to enter into the fifth dimension. Experience God. You have a question. He's gonna answer you the message, and you're gonna give it, and you're gonna be able to act. That's the future. That's why it says at the end of time, prophecy is gonna be restored. Meditation.
That's how you receive prophecy. It's through the
Yes, it's meditation is the tool to start accessing Ruach HaKodesh and prophecy. It says at the end of time, we're not gonna have the Torah. We're not gonna have the teachers. What we're gonna have, God is going to teach us directly through Ruach HaKodesh what's the right thing to do. And how do you think it's going to happen? You're going to meditate, you're going to communicate to the energy of creation, to God, and you're going to experience
like prophecy.
Right? Yeah, like
We
prophecy,
did.
exactly. The Talmud said there were millions of prophets, right? You didn't know what to do. You know, oh, I hurt my finger today. Why? You go to the prophet. Oh yeah, last time you scratched someone by mistake. You forgot to say thank you with that finger. It's a reminder that you have to start say sorry for that to that person. So that's what really the future looks like. So try to practice meditation. There's a few people that you can do. I recommend really Daniel Katz. He has free stuff. You can start. He's great to start. This Yom Tov Glazer also who teaches it. There's a few others. I don't know them well, so I don't want to say about them. There's one non-Jewish guy who also teaches meditation to non-Jews, which is excellent, which follows really the Torah. Is Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? That I told you about.
Oh, I love him.
Yes, and he has a workshop. I recommend everybody to do it. It's going to change your life. Anyway, it's hard. Meditation and prayer is avodah shebelev. It's a work. It's not prayer. It's work of the heart, emotional work. It's work of breathing, of directing your emotions, but it's work. It's hard. Praying is a joke compared to meditation, because we disconnect prayer from meditation. Today you say meditation, people think Buddha. No. Tefillah is meditation. It's not prayer. Prayer is open the book and read the letters. That's not prayer, right? That's not tefillah. So I encourage everyone on Shavuot to celebrate the incredible love, that relationship that there is between you and God. Make it personal. Speak to God about what you want as a relation with Him. Do you want to get married again with Him? Do you want to go back home with Him in the Beis Hamikdash?
I want to go home with God.
On earth, on earth, yeah, on earth too, but in Israel.
So we're seriously all homeless.
Yes, we are homeless. That's what it says.
I know what that's like.
We're not really,
Like why?
we're not really married. No, Chazal says we're not really Jewish until we
really
go
want-
back to Eretz Israel.
We're home, yeah.
We're not Jew really married until we go back to Israel. Because being a Jew means I'm married to God. When I'm in Eretz Israel, I'm like so far away from, I'm away from my husband's country. So you have at least to go in the country, and then you have to have the house rebuilt. But how much do we desire that? How much do we think about it, right?
Until you're homeless, you don't even think about
Yes,
it.
yes, we're homeless. Here we're just, so we have to really think of those things and reflect and fall in love with God. Guys, that's the end of the final message. Fall in love
I love
with
that.
God.
That's great.
And to fall in love with God, you have to find out through the Torah and the mitzvot how this can increase. And Bezat Hashem, you'll fall in love with the world, fall in love with even the spiders. I know it's hard to believe, but you can even fall in love with the spiders and the snakes and all that. And eventually we'll fall in love with the entire world that God gave us. And that's the same as falling in love with God Himself. So, love you all, guys. I'm starting now. I love you all, guys, okay? Love you all.
Thank you so much for doing this.